So anyway, hey guys.
Hello.
This is Sarah's night.
And Lanta's.
And we were just having a scuffle about like who has a bigger problem with not
you do it.
who has a bigger problem with not getting their focus back on the window. The game window, so we can actually be playing. Okay, so we were shipwrecked on this island, and I had to... Vice was like, I need to find some meat to survive the night, so we started fighting.
Yeah, because if he didn't eat that one meat for this one night, then he would starve to death. He's a very needy eater.
So in this little area, you got, you know, crappy little monsters who would show up, and Vice would be like,
That's
oh,
very
hey.
judgmental of you.
Well, I mean, and it should be like, just to be able to hunt for meat, you should have like, you know, 1,000 HP monsters who...
Also,
kill you
these
in one
things do
hit.
not look very appetizing and or edible.
They really don't. Maybe the fin?
Because it
Or
looks
actually, I
like
think
they're covered in pustules, right? Like, it's gross.
Yeah, it kind of looked like just bloated in a weird way, like a boomer monster or something. You know, I used to think, like, he was making that sound like he wasn't pissed and, like, wanting to, like, really cause some harm to humans. It was just like, I'm coming to get you. But, like, when you know, when you hear him off in the distance, the caption will be, like, Boomer Anger, where Boomer is, like, upset or
you know what it
rage
sounded
or
like to
something.
me? It just sounded like they were trying not to vomit. That's what it sounded like, effort. They're like,
I don't know if you gotta kill, like, really.
man.
I think these guys realize that anybody with a sword and decent survival instincts could easily kill them, so that's why they run away more than they tend to fight. But they do cause significant damage, considering.
Man, remember when Valve used to make video games? They made some damn good games.
Did they?
No, not really. They make money now.
I don't.
That's Steam. That's all they do is Steam now.
Okay.
They don't actually. They don't make Portal anymore. They don't make Left 4 Dead anymore. They don't make Half-Life anymore. Or Team Fortress or.
Okay, finally, I just had to kill enough, but I thought we got like at least 10 last time. I was like,
I told you he's a hefty eater, man.
Apparently.
He's gonna have to kill 15 creatures and eat them all in one night or starve to death.
Yeah, unless this is like in the land of the under the purple moon, which is completely barren, as we'll find out when we get there. I mean, surely a ship will pass by eventually. But then, like, what if it's just when he's sleeping and he just kind of hears it off in the distance and he rushes to get up?
No!
They're like, yeah, that was gonna be your last chance for like the next month.
Man, if they ever made a Left 4 Dead 3, me and my D&D group would have a ball with that.
Yeah, so that was Ix and Shadowfox were trying to get me to get that earlier, and I was just like, yeah, I got too many games on backlog. I'm just not interested.
Well, I mean, I heard it was on sale, and you know, it might have been worth it when it was cheap, just to have something to play. But the way I see that game, it looks like I mentioned this earlier. It looked like the Left 4 Dead versus tank fights, except the tank is notable slasher villains.
Oh, I forgot. Finding dinner was not the only mundane task we have to do.
That's too bad. You know what the funny the funny thing is? Spoilers, by the way. So plug your ears for the next 5 seconds. This ends up being your base. If we didn't mention that before.
I think we did.
Yeah.
And besides, this game is like at least 15 years old, so.
Oh man, you can't. The time does not matter. Like with some people, if they hear a spoiler for something they don't know, regardless of how old it is, oh, they get up in arms. Their panties go
people
right on
get
up.
Like, people get like that. Just.
Well, those are the kind of people that care about like TVs and movies like way too much. like, that put so much value on it. Like, the thing is, if you can't enjoy something despite the fact knowing that something is going to happen ahead of time, I mean, I know it's robbing you of your initial experience, the unadulterated experience you're supposed to have, but if you treat it like it's like some huge offense, like, I mean, what the, like, it's not that big of a deal. I don't know. Do you feel that, like...
In the grand scheme of life, it certainly isn't.
Okay.
Dude, have you ever heard me, like, why'd you even ask? Have you ever heard me get all, like, up in arms about spoilers?
No. I've been spoiled on several things before, and I've still been able to thoroughly enjoy, you know, the material. Like...
And I'm sorry, if it's like, once it's like past a year or two old, I really shouldn't have to, you know, keep, you know, stopping and thinking before I just talk freely about something that I like. Like, oh, has this person seen it yet? Are they gonna want to? Do you care? Does this reveal something? I'm sorry, I'm just not gonna do that.
Shouldn't, I don't think you should have to.
Gonzalez.
At that point, that person...
Okay, the camera is kind of like hating me right now, and it's getting on my nerves.
Is the right analog stick not working? Like, is it...
Just barely. It just
is
seems
is
that...
it fighting you?
Yeah, it's what it feels like. But only seemingly in certain locations. Maybe that's just the game for some reason. I love full camera control. Like, freedom. Except, of course, in, like, classic Resident Evil games where the static camera is what...
I hear. There's rumor that Resident Evil 2 Remake is going to have a mode you can unlock where it's fixed camera angles the entire game.
Cool.
I'm like, that. If they paid that much attention to it, like, if they're putting that much detail to it, that's good. Like, that's... I don't... Like, again, it's a rumor, so I don't know if it's actually true or not, but if it is, that's cool. That is another layer of replayability. So you played the demo, right?
Yeah, and you know me. I definitely get my replay value out of, like, any Resident Evil game but 6.
Yeah.
And Gaiden. I'm pretty sure I'm
Are you sure you don't want to... We should re-LP that. You know? Don't you want to subject yourself?
It is possible, I am willing to say, it is possible that just... Like, if I'm an old man and my future wife is already dead or something, and I just, you know, bust out the old consoles or something, yeah, I might happen to glance upon it and be like, you know, I'll just try that again.
Was it as bad as I remember?
Yeah. Thank you, Rachel. Because, you know, you should have been in there cooking for a man.
We had a discussion about a person... at Rachel's workplace, who is like a woman's place is in the kitchen as the housemaker or housekeeper, homemaker, whatever.
Yeah,
some stupid people.
I just believe woman's right to choose on that, even if it is to be a housewife. Okay, cool. More power to you.
There's a lot of things that I rail against, but actual equality is not one of them, and I don't think that there should be, like, roles like that in a relationship. You know? A relationship should be two people together doing a thing.
Oh, crap. Sorry, right quick. I totally forgot what... Oh, okay, I think it was just to find this little moonstone that fell. Okay, anyway, go on.
No. I'm just saying, in a relationship, if you can't treat each other as true equals, then you're gonna have problems.
Dude, every now and then in CF singles,
yeah,
you will clearly get a guy with outdated, outmoded views like that, potentially abusive. I mean, from the way he sounds.
Uh-oh.
He's obviously a bitter incel. He's not getting any. Or at the very least can't find a girlfriend.
Right. Incel. That was actually a term that I had not known of until, you know, like a few months ago.
And, I mean, he comes in there to singles. He was obviously hoping to find his personal version of wife material. And he'll go on something that's basically... you know, among his first few posts, like within the first 30 or so, he'll make a thread about, you know, how they're no good, you know, battered housewives out there. You know, that's
allow me to be frank.
Exaggerated.
Right.
But you know, the way he puts his like no good Christian women, that's the way he'll put it. You know, like good old conservative values. So I said battered housewife, like kind of exaggerated.
Conservative values are not good, and they are old for a reason.
Well, in a lot of ways, and you know, it's clear. He's mad because he hadn't been getting any, and he wants to take it out on women, so he'll make, you know, pretty much a passive-aggressive post against them, while at the same time crying out like, I'm so lonely, you know, I long to be married one day, that kind of thing, and, like, nobody ever falls for that bull crap.
Well, no,
they'll tell him how it is, and guess what? It was obvious he didn't come there wanting to just, you know, be in fellowship with other single Christians like himself. Well, and we have non-Christians there, you know, as long as they aren't dicks about, you know, their lack of faith to us, then, you know, then they are totally welcome there. I mean, that's mostly what it's for. It's not to hook up. It's not to find a girlfriend or a boyfriend to, you know, and it's obvious, like, that's all they came there for. And they don't get it right away. They don't get any women submitting themselves to them in any way, so they get mad and leave. Like, that's all it. Make one good ranting thread. Yeah. They're not getting the response they were hoping for, the sympathetic response. So, women are just too liberal around here, you know. Too independent, you know, in their thinking, all that kind of stuff. And
what?
They leave.
Did he actually
they leave
say
forever.
that?
Well, you know what I'm like. That's the general.
Yeah. I'm just saying. But if he was just that direct about it, that is.
Ugh, I don't know. Sometimes it feels like they're direct. I could probably show you a few posts, because this seems to happen an average of once every few months. I must have seen at least 10 of those kinds of guys come and go in the 4 or 5 years I've been there. And it's like, that's all you came here for. You were just hoping to find somebody who fits your narrow views, thinking this is a place to hook up. And I don't necessarily mean that sexually, just like
to,
you know,
find a companion.
And you didn't get what you wanted, so
now you're gonna lash out.
You just quit, you know? And like, that's not what the singles community is for. It's not solely just to hook up. Now, people have managed to meet on there and fall in love and get married before. But I mean, if you want girls to like you, if you did come there, you know, hoping to find a potential girlfriend, well, come in. And don't start threads that make it sound like you are, you know, you don't trust women, that you don't even like them, that you think they're all like evil, crafty serpents or something, conspiring with your dick to destroy you.
You mean to tell me that women aren't on that forum, hitting F5, refreshing the page over and over again, hoping to find a man who is desperate to find love and be like, ah, yes, here's one.
Yeah.
He sounds sad and pathetic.
And I mean, there's been a couple of times, I mean, not nearly as frequently, but I do remember there's also been 2 or 3 times where it was just like a woman making a thread where it's just like she'll be ranting against men in general. It's like, you gotta act like you like them before, if you want anybody here to take sympathy upon you and possibly like want to get to know you romantically.
Oh, that'd been so funny if it was a cannonball that just landed right at his feet. Game over.
Well, if it landed at his feet, wouldn't kill him, would it?
Well, I mean...
Do cannonballs, like, explode on impact?
Oh, hey! It's about time.
Oh, yeah, it's Gilder.
Mm-hmm. Almost called him Gulder.
You know, I love this dude, except for, like, one thing.
Yeah?
Why is he running away from Clarabelle? Or what was her name again?
I think you're right.
The nicest stalker pirate ever. Why are you running from her, dude?
I mean, I guess it's the same thing with, like, Sonic the Hedgehog and Amy Rose.
It's that trope.
It's a trope, yeah. No way!
He's pretty much still a baby. Yeah, a baby with, like, 15 under HP could probably...
I like to imagine, after the events of Resident Evil 4, Ashley turns to, like, comes to be the exact same thing to Leon. You know, the whole thing after the game, like, hey, Leon, after we get back, you maybe want to do some overtime?
I just like the way he's like, sorry.
No way.
I think that was actually masking a deep insecurity inside him. He's like, the only women I can have any luck with is practically jailbait. Great.
And also, the president's daughter.
Yeah, it's like pretty much no matter how old Ashley will ever be. I mean, like the father in the father's eyes, she'll pretty much still be jailbait.
Either he's wearing glasses or he's got some bags under his eyes. They're the glasses.
You know, now that I think about it, I recall, I think there was a short story once about how Vice got that scar.
Yeah?
I think it might have been involved if you could do those optional battles with that chick who's just like uber powerful. Like every time you fight her.
Did I tell you how I got these scars?
What's that from?
Dark Knight. That was the Heath Ledger Joker.
Oh, I actually never saw Dark Knight. I just always heard that like Heath Ledger is
so there have been some
fantastic.
amazing Jokers in the past. I like Jack Nicholson and
that's just Jack Nicholson
and
Jack
Mark
Nicholson.
Hamill, and there have been like Mark Hamill's Joker is a great Joker.
Wait, Luke Skywalker was once the Joker?
Yes, it was the animated series, but I think that version of the Joker was still amazing, and that voice is iconic, right? Like that is like whenever someone says the Joker, that's the voice I hear is Mark Hamill's voice, right? That said,
I'm sorry, right quick, I wasn't even paying attention to what Gilder was saying.
I wasn't reading it either.
So when I made the choice, I was just like, well, it sounds like I'm not being a dick if I say that's a good motto. And it turns out, I think I just, like, basically hit on him.
I mean, whatever.
I could go gay for Gilder. It's cool.
But yeah, Heath Ledger's Joker, it's my favorite Joker. I love Heath Ledger Joker. Also,
that was also where the "Why So Serious" one came from, right?
Why so serious? Yeah. Like the pencil scene alone was like, okay, I'm totally in on this Joker. Like, I would recommend you watching that sometime.
I should. Alright, so Gilder's picked us up.
And he's letting you pilot a ship.
And we can now go to Nasir.
By the way, I really like his ship.
Where Ica and Fina are. We don't know they're there, but we'll run into them by accident.
That's a bunch of cannons. How about we not mess with that?
Nah, they're on our side.
That's a bunch of cannons. How about we not mess with that?
Yeah, well, it turns out, yeah, you guys get your asses kicked easily by Blue. I'm the only one that can ever take them on, and seemingly, rather pathetically, hey, is that a Discovery down there? Looks like it could be. I think it's moving, too.
It's a monolith.
Yeah, it's moving.
The
I have a
map
feeling
of
this is,
Hades.
we discovered this maybe out of... Well, no, we couldn't have been in this area earlier in the game, so maybe we would get a good... I do like that they also kind of add that as a feature. It does depend on your timing when you find it. Because it'll be, like, if you find it too late, other people have discovered it, they'll say, so you don't get really paid well for it. It's just like, oh, well, good, you confirm this exists.
Yeah.
Phew.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
That did no damage.
I don't know, it seemed powerful for monsters with this little HP anyway.
Yeah, earlier that would have been a problem.
I guess that's the point, it's like, get them before they get you.
Moons, give me strength.
It's really weird that they
Wow.
they don't have any more like dialogues for casting spells. Every single person says "Moons, give me strength."
Yeah.
Every single time.
It's a minor
wish they
thing.
were
It
all
doesn't
that
like
easy.
annoy me, but come on, you didn't need to
No, no,
skirt
no.
on that, you know?
It's a nitpick, but whatever.
Okay, good. Apparently I was heading in the right direction. Why does this dude look like a priest?
Why does this dude look like he can't see?
Yeah, his hair's as long as mine is.
Oh no.
I just actually bothered to brush mine over that. Oh, hey, it's I like she has like a giant heart ornament. Yeah, just Clara, not Clara Bell. Actually, I think she has a servant named Bell. Am I getting the... Oh, wow. Does she think that Gilder can,
Look
like...
at his face!
Did she think that, like, Gilder could see her boobs from there, and that's why she was kind of...
I think she
doing
was
that...
just being jubilant.
He's actually got a plan to, like, get away
For
from her.
ditching her.
Okay, what if she sees the lifeboat leaving?
You know what? If you cut the text out and just had that as a screenshot, that'd look very...
Yeah. Wow. I mean, Vi's is significantly younger. This is like stranger danger, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, they literally just met.
This should be in like one of those safety awareness videos, you know, like the one Gary Coleman once did about like just how children should, you know, be aware of general dangers when playing outside and that kind of thing. I think it was called For Safety's Sake.
People's different strokes. I made a lot of money that got stolen by my folks.
Okay, apparently this is something he has done before. You know the routine.
Because yeah, it's actually named
Operation Clara.
Was that Dulcine? Or I'm sorry, Sagat.
Yeah,
I think Sagat
kinda.
was in there. Like she wouldn't have noticed.
I mean,
It was
really.
pretty obvious to me, right?
Was to me too.
I thought for a second that was a Loch Ness monster in the background.
Oh, the head of the golden ship.
Yeah.
Is there a Loch Ness monster for like the skies?
See ya.
I would assume
The
it would be like
Cloudness monster?
something like one of the traditional Chinese dragons, I suppose.
Oh god. Just reminded me of the Neverending Story 3. What a shitty movie.
Also,
Because there's just one part where like Falcor and the other like inhabitants of Fantasia while they were on Earth, they were seeing one of those parades where they had the Chinese dragon.
so
A bunch of guys in a Chinese dragon costume, and you know Falcor was just acting like an idiot over it as usual.
if the Neverending Story was truly that, why aren't there any more movies being made? Bah!
Dun dun dun.
My Shutter Shades loser.
Shutter Shades?
Shutter Shades. Yeah, a lot of
Like, is that a thing?
yeah, it's a thing. It shouldn't be a thing, but it's a thing.
Hey, I think this is where we eventually fight the bounty battle with the fake Vi, Psycho, and Phoenix.
Ha! Callous Wrath!
Yeah. Their names are actually Vi's with a Z, Anita, and Fina. Like it's spelled Faina, so I assume it's the I instead of Fina.
Or Faina, maybe?
Or Fina?
Fine. That is a very well-trimmed beard with a right angle on either side of it.
Okay, I think he said go to the inn and wait for me, because, I don't know, I guess he's gonna go out and party at the bar or something.
Party, party, party,
I don't know why, but that part's actually funny. And,
Whatever happened to that guy? I know he was having some, like, health complications.
Yeah, I hope it's not that, you know, he actually... like
Because he was
died
funny.
from it.
Like, he did funny stuff.
I think he's done like one more episode in the Majora's Mask Abridged series in like the last 8 years.
Yeah.
Like before that, I think in the span of just a few years, he did like the entire Resident Evil 4 and Ocarina of Time and like the first 12 episodes or so of Majora's Mask. And I think like whatever was the last episode, just like one more, and then he just somehow broke off completely. It was just they got to the end of the third of 4 temples or whatever, and that was it. For the most part, it was funny while it lasted.
Oh, good gracious.
Hi.
Uh,
What's the name of Tim Curry's character again from Rocky Horror Picture Show? Because that's what...
it reminds you of... Actually, I don't know his name either. I think it's...
No, I just can't think of it right now.
Whenever I refer to him, I always say Tim Curry from...
Cross-dressing Tim Curry. Osmond.
That is...
Hey, I think you can actually... This is one of those dudes you can actually get as a part of your ship crew when you get your own.
How could you not want him? He has a hairless cat on his head.
Oh, and he does not like pirates.
Well, this is gonna be awkward. My money! My money! So you might be interested to know that the company who owns Tenchu, Stealth Assassin,
Right?
the rights to it, right?
Didn't we LP that once?
Yep. They are the same people responsible for Dark Souls from Software. Okay? They have been working on a new game that's not Dark Souls. It's going to be released, I think, in April. It is. If you look at gameplay, you can see that it's basically Tenchu, right? But it's called Sekiro, and there's a lot of people looking into it.
Oh, hey, look who it is. The little old man I
Oh,
was
hey.
escorted to Nasir.
Yeah. In production, at one point, it was supposed to be a Tenchu game, but they broke it off and made it its own IP. But it still looks heavily influenced by Tenchu, and I'm really excited for it. So I'm just been calling it the Tenchu spiritual successor, Sekiro.
Okay. Well, for slightly less, I can get the same increase in magic defense for this, that the defense is decreased as opposed to this. I don't know if I said that right, but you know what I was trying to say. Anyway, Iron Cutter. Wow, that sounds like a powerful sword. It just
Cuts iron.
Straight up cuts through iron. Small increase for
Nesser
Gilder,
pistol.
but I got the money for it, so why not?
Yeah.
Gilder obviously has really good armor right now. Because in this shop right now, it's...
He's not gonna be in your party for very long, right? There's a...
Yeah, he goes away for a while after this next bit.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't realize that... I was about to say Anita and Fina. Ika and Fina. We don't know that
Really?
they're here yet. We keep missing each other, but we end up at the same, like, dungeon looking for treasure nearby.
Yeah.
And that's only as far as Gilder will accompany us for now. You know, I don't know why, but I really... Well, actually, I do know why. He's kind of like SK in a lot of ways. I like the third of, like, the 3 characters. Like, I think only one of which you can choose to kind of take into the final battle. There's Drachma, and... Oh.
Well,
I
how
think-
about you stop being nosy? Oh my gosh, they're wearing the hats
Yeah, the
from
hat.
the from RPG Maker 1. The
Yeah.
one with the
I was about to say, because I ran into a dude while you were talking. There was another random townsperson like that.
I
I
haven't
was like,
seen
that...
it from the side. From the side, it's freaking the elf people, the elf sprite from RPG Maker 1 and 2 and 3.
I ain't saying she a gold digger.
but she ain't messing with a bro can't say that word.
I seriously thought that. I mean, I guess I had to have heard the edited version.
Yeah, the radio.
On the radio,
was
ridiculous. I was like, is that really the words broke
No.
to broke?
Broke to broke is just the radio edit.
Why could you just say like broke playa?
Well,
Why not that? It's in that same like kind of vein, without being offensive.
Yeah. But broke to broke does not rhyme with digger.
This dude's talking about Icon. I think I asked you once, it was like, like one of the things that's a really huge positive about this game with me is that on extremely rare occasion, these three main characters are all awesome.
Yeah.
Like, really like Vice, Ica, and Fina all together. And we don't have the stupid love triangle trope going either.
Nope.
Even better. So I once asked you, it's like that's like similar to Chrono, Luca, and Marley. You like all of them; they're all cool. I was like,
and the only suggestion of any kind of I was about to say there's a suggestion of romance if you take Marl to revive Chrono, but even then I don't think it's romantic. It's just like taken as like
you've known this person for a long time. You've been through a lot together. Of course, you didn't want to see him stay dead.
Yeah,
of course you're going to be relieved.
Embrace didn't necessarily be meant to be romantic. It's just relief.
And even if it was a kiss, okay, cool, whatever.
Oh, I don't think it was a kiss. He was just I mean,
well, it seemed like you could see all of Chrono's face. So like Lucas was next to his if she was the one hugging him, and Marley's face kind of looks pressed in.
How much for one of those
but it's like
puppets?
It was like I've kissed a female friend before, and it wasn't like yeah, that's the sound of.
See, now if it was a movie, a modern day movie, yeah, the second someone's revived, they should probably just bone right then and there in front of everybody.
Yeah. That's what I can't stand about movies. Like, hey, keep your sex scenes in porno. I'm not here for that right now.
Yep. Completely agree 100%. There are sources.
And it's just like ridiculous how like it's like there's got to be, some kind of sexual innuendo, tension, or an outright scene. Gotta be there.
I feel
got to be in there.
I feel that 300 would have been a better movie if it wasn't so sexually charged at the times that it was.
It was practically exploitation as far as I'm concerned.
But the thing is, like, all the fighting was like literally like 80-90% of the movie was just great fighting.
Nice. I could have a fit if I bought her like some sexy clothing. No, do it. I want to see her get mad. Yeah, and look who's trying to sell it.
I mean, she's working it.
I mean, she's trying. It's nice that she's got confidence. I'll give her that.
She's working it. It's alright.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I find plenty of BBWs out there. Being overweight is not automatic grounds for being unattractive. It really isn't.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And it's about, like, they talk about how it does seem like sometimes it's like becoming, being overweight, or as they would say, really curvy. I mean, and sometimes that's true. I mean, it's just curvy. I mean, I would not call that fat in the least. No, it's good that, like, overweight girls get more body positivity nowadays. I'm all for that. But it's like at the same time, it seems like they can go so far in that direction. It's like it's okay to be mean to girls who happen to be thin. You'll see that as a bad thing, like, oh, they must be bulimic or something.
Well, you don't understand. I need to explain something.
It's like a zero-sum game. You can't be accepting above.
No. There's this thing going around now, and it goes with race, it goes with weight, it goes with gender. It's just kind of an overall general thing that if you are a part... So in most segregated things, gender, race, weight...
Guys, you should see how Lantis is trying
Talking
to, like...
with my hands.
Yeah.
Like, the one that is considered the low, like the derogatory, or the low end of the fairness meter, like they're the ones that get to, you know, champion themselves for equality, where those on the other side are privileged and they don't get to say shit. So if you're thin, you are privileged, and therefore you don't have a voice, you don't have an opinion. If you're a white male,
yeah, like it gets too far in the other direction. There was a cute girl that came by here saying she didn't have any money for a ship either. Oh. He kind of makes it sound like Osmond is, well, dangerous for a young girl to be going into his house alone.
How weird would it be if you took off his monocle and his eye behind that monocle was actually that big? There was that big of a discrepancy between his eye sizes?
That'd be cool. Oh, God, we got plenty of stuff to sell.
Here's $5.
Yeah, I mean, could have done that one a long time ago. We just now found the Tricyclone and Map of Ages, so they're more... I must let the whole world know. Oh, I forgot this is stuff to... Oh, no. This is not buying fish. We're buying information for new discoveries.
Yay, broken texture.
Yeah. Well, anyway, what I was going to say, it's amazing, though, how, like, on YouTube, I would still find... You could still see so many, like, just hateful comments from just chauvinistic pigs. Like, where a more overweight / curvy girl is just... I mean, she's perfectly nice. She doesn't seem like she's arrogant in the least or anything. There'll be, like, a video where she's just kind of showing off. And it'll be like, man, what's with all this body positivity nowadays? This girl's fat, you know? Just call it what it is. She's like, you know, they'll just be calling her, just totally degrading her. I'm like, it's still crazy how even in today's, you know, culture where we try to be more accepting and unfortunately go so far in the other direction we become unaccepting of the original.
You should reply back, well, why are we even listening to your comment? We should just call it what it is. He's an asshole.
Yeah, I mean, he wouldn't like that, would he? So, you know, just basically, and I'm sorry, but plenty of girls like that I've seen is like, I don't know what you guys are talking about, how she's like this ugly, hideous monster. I think she's kind of hot. I'll marry a curvy girl, sure.
I mean, I dated Teresa, and she was not what I would call the picture of skinniness.
Oh, by the way, nice freaking pants. I just noticed them.
Like my Deadpool pajama bottoms.
Like when Lantis spoke a minute ago, I kind of felt like, you know, some saliva splashed my hand.
So a little too hard.
So I just like while he was still talking, I just kind of casually like looked aside and wiped the back of my hand on his knee. I'm like, oh, by the way, just now noticed your pants. Where is the freaking inn?
Well, it's not out. You're out.
Really? I'm glad we're finding stuff to talk about because I've been kind of...
I mean, we should be able to. We don't hang out all that often, so...
Well, actually, here's something.
Yeah.
Like, and I actually meant to bring this up last time. I think I was about to. We just got into another conversation.
Oh, it happens.
Doing the last episode. Dude, a few months ago.
Yeah.
Or no, maybe 2 months ago. Because well, whenever we last LP'd, it was like right before that. God, dude, I don't know what we were talking about to make me think of this, but it was similar. I had this terrifying dream. You remember how, you know, I have dreams all the time, and I guess because I spent so much time there in my childhood about taking place in my grandparents' house, inside or outside in that cul-de-sac. But there was one where it's like, you kind of remember what it looks like, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You can picture it. So just picture that, except like more expansive. It's like the same place, but everything is bigger. Like front yard's bigger, backyard's bigger. The circle, the cul-de-sac has a wider diameter, all that. And dude, it was like one of those things where I woke up and I don't think it's like sleep paralysis, but I guess like a not as potentially harmful version of that. A slightly less intense version is called night terrors.
Yep.
Where just, you think you're awake, but you still can't move for a while, and you're just there paralyzed, trying to sort out, was it a dream? Am I woken up yet? I mean, if it was a dream, am I back? You know, I don't even know where I should be in the waking world. You're not even positive. I think this is finally the end. Great. Yeah, because there are only other guests, Raika and Fina. We just
So
keep
what you're
missing each
telling me is, in the end, it hardly even matters.
other. Yes.
Ha ha ha! Ha ha! Chester's dead. That's sad.
It is. And you know, we can talk about that. Let me get this one out. I just, like, in the dream, I was, like, sitting in... You remember my old Neon that I had for, like, 10 years before I got in that unfortunate accident? Very unfortunate.
Yep.
R.I.P. Lucia. I always loved you. But, I was in that car, and I guess the door was kind of open, and I could see easily out the windshield. It was like Grandma and Poppy's house was like a huge mansion, almost. But it looked like the same, just like a lot bigger. So, I don't know. And for some reason, there were like 4 giant TV screens of various sizes hooked up around on the outside. Like, there was one on the trees right in front of me where that gate is, next to the wishing well. There's another one, like, on kind of like a back portion of the house on the other side of the front yard across from me, and other stuff like that. And just like random shows. I guess that's how rich we were.
Okay.
I mean, so it's like, if you ever want to just go outside and watch TV or have a big party, you know, with various guests with various tastes in television, they can all be sort of socializing in different areas of our, you know, property while watching, you know, whatever it is they want. I don't know. It was crazy. You should have seen it. But I'm like in there and I'm like just sobbing. I guess I'm like a little kid almost. And, you know, Mom actually like comes out from the normal, like where we normally enter into the house through the carport.
Yep.
That garage. You know, she's trying to ask me what's wrong. It's like, I can't. I'm like, don't you see it? And she's like, what? You know, she just can't see the same thing I can. It's like, I'm somehow the only person on the planet that can see the giant hole in the ozone layer.
That's threatening to...
It might sound like funny, like the way I said it, but it was terrifying the way it looked. It's like the night sky was, you know, perfectly starry lit and everything, to where it's not totally black. It's more like a light
deep purple.
Yeah. But you see one giant black hole. I'm looking up over the tops of the trees in the woods that are, you know, like kind of down the hill from my grandparents' front yard, right?
Yeah.
You remember what that looks like?
I do.
And it's just like a giant black hole in it. Like, there is literally no barrier between us and outer space. And for some reason, while it doesn't seem to be anything like, you know, it doesn't seem to be of any harm right now, but it's like, somehow I know when the sun comes up in the morning, everybody on Earth is going to burn up because there is nothing protecting us from the rays. We're, like, the entire world is literally going to burn to death in, like...
Just a few hours.
6 to 8 hours. And I'm weeping for that, I guess anybody would. But it was so, I mean, as silly as it might sound, after I've been awake for a few hours and was able to kind of like reflect on it, it was so terrifying at the time. And it's like, nobody could see it but me.
You know what that makes me think of? Isn't it, that's almost like the exact same thing in Majora's Mask, with the moon threatening to, like, crash on Termina, and nobody in town seems to care.
Yeah.
Like, no one...
Or,
even on the third day...
I don't remember. Was it just because they somehow couldn't see it? Or...
No, well, no.
They knew it was happening, but, I don't know, just blew it off like...
No,
really...
they acted like it wasn't a big deal.
But wasn't it true that, like, at one part, in some, oh, there, yeah, the dude, we're finally gonna get our pay. So Ika and Fina can buy a small ship and start on the search for Vice and Drachma.
drachma. Your wages. What do you mean?
Which, like,
wages
what?
in
Probably
quotes?
500,000 federal employees aren't making right now?
Oh. Man, I don't even
Gilder's,
want
Gilder's hitting on Ica. Dude, you're like, what, 30-something? She's like... Now, don't get me wrong, I totally do Ica, but...
What are you, like 30-something?
Yep. No, that was something I was going to say earlier before we got off on more tangents. Out, like, talking about how it's awesome how in this and Chrono Trigger, and those are the only two I can think of, at this precise moment, two RPGs where, like, the three main characters are, like, all awesome. I mean, I like all of them. And so I remember asking you once, I was like, okay, so, if you could be in an RPG world, and this was the only kind of thing you happen to care about, would you rather have a threesome with Marley and Luca or Ika and Fina? You're like,
oh, man.
Dude, Chrono Trigger, all the way.
Because I like Chrono Trigger.
I was like, even though Chrono Trigger is definitely a better game, as much as I love this one, in fact, it is the second best game of all time. Still your first?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
That's Chrono Trigger's still my jam.
I'm with Ika and Fina. Alright, well, let's go back to the inn, I think, to Fina. Oh, wait, is Fina in our party, or... Where's... Menu button? I've forgotten it. What's happening?
You've been navigating the menu for, like, the past half hour! Is it start or select?
Dude, I'm pressing all this, and it's not happening.
Well, maybe you're not...
Maybe
there
there is.
It might be you can't access the menu.
I don't remember if I left Fina at the end, so I just gotta go back to her and be like, hey, we finally got paid.
It might just be a part of the game where you can't access the menu when you're playing as Ika and Fina.
Ika?
Ika. Pippi Longstocking.
Oh, wait. Is that dude dead?
I'm dead!
Please tell me this isn't gonna end up being like some perverted old man who's just looking to... Oh. Okay. Oh, he's cool.
You don't know that yet. With his Heihachi eyebrows.
Oh.
Gasp.
That's our way to the next dungeon.
I've never really drawn attention to this yet, but she's wearing a necklace of a Moai statue.
Who, Ika?
Yeah.
I think so.
Uh-oh.
Long before my time, there was a great air pirate named Ducket. I really like how before Ika got there, everybody in town was just probably totally walking by this dude and not paying attention.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Just not
Because they're
caring.
super curious.
Pretty much the opposite of Good Samaritan.
Yep. You mean just a regular Samaritan?
More like an asshole Samaritan.
But isn't the whole point of the pointing out Good Samaritan means that Samaritans by default are not good?
I guess.
Like, this is not a normal Samaritan. This is a good Samaritan.
I don't remember if this Pedro dude comes back into the picture for anything after this, but
I don't even remember him. I don't remember him being in the game once. Should be like Masero. Should be like, before you go, could you flash me?
is that the name of the grandpa from Tenchi?
That is the...
Or no, Dragon Ball Z.
Yes, Dragon Ball Z. Or Dragon Ball. And GT. And Super.
Yeah, I actually just now caught up like the other day with like the last few, like maybe 58, 59, and 60th episode on DBZ Abridged.
Oh man. That is still funny. It's still funny. I don't know how they've gone this long.
You know, I'm glad that at the end, Krillin finally won one for a change.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I think he had it coming.
And they undid the Krillin own counter.
Yep.
That was very cathartic, you know? Just
yeah. I'm like, dude, I'm happy for you. You scored with Android 18, basically. That's what we're talking about in case you haven't seen it.
It's not even basically. They have a kid.
Oh, in the actual show they do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought they just made up that last shot.
No. They end up married, and they have a daughter named Marin.
I remember you told me one time recently about, like, in the newest series or something, like, how crazy they get with, like, talk of power levels and stuff.
Mm-hmm. The problem is, early in the series, they tried to numerically, like, define power levels, like, using actual numbers. But after, like, the Frieza saga, they're just like, screw it, we can't quantify this anymore.
Yeah.
This goes beyond numbers.
That's the kind of thing Gilder would say.
Gilder, that's actually a good question to ask you, though.
Yeah. And if we're talking about Ica and Fina here, because he just now noticed that, like, Ica down in the bar at least, I'm gonna have to kind of go with the answer of women this time. Oh, besides, with Daka's treasure, we'll be able to get more women.
Wow.
Again, dude, you got Clara, like, totally coming after you.
Dude, you don't understand. Some people, the most important thing to them is getting women, getting laid, having, you know, relations, you know? It is just of the utmost importance.
Oh. You think? I totally forgot that he knew about that. Why was it that the first thing he did upon coming here? He could have told, I mean, he must have told Gilder about it too. Gilder would probably have more pull over here, even if Vice didn't think he could get in. Wow, Vice, kind of a dick move. You've been here for like 2 days and didn't... Nah, Sultan?
Hey kid, did you cut the sleeves off your shirt and then try to put them back together with belt buckles?
Why, yes. Yes, I did.
Gee, I wonder which one is the swashbuckling answer. I cannot tell. Do you see the house?
You better let me through, or else I'm going to Cutlass Fury you into tiny little giblet-sized pieces.
Your family won't be able to recognize you.
Oh!
Gilder considers himself a ruffian.
Also,
Is it because of the goatee?
I did not hear the "you chose the swashbuckling answer" noise.
I did.
Oh. I guess I just wasn't paying attention.
Or at least I think I did.
You excited for the new Mortal Kombat?
Not really. I hadn't even been thinking about it.
I'm excited.
When's it coming?
2019, unspecified. No, they specified. I think it's the beginning of second quarter.
Okay.
I'm excited.
Sub-Zero and Scorpion going to be fighting again? Like, just back to rivalry?
Well, I don't know. Because if you remember, if the things that happened in 9 and 10 are current, then the original Sub-Zero is still Noob Saibot, the current Sub-Zero is now Cyber Sub-Zero. And... No, that's not true. Oh, no, it was a...
No, which Sub-Zero was it that actually got revived from being a Revenant? Like, alongside Scorpion and Jax in story mode on 10. Which one was it? Was it...
I don't know. It wasn't Bihan, I don't think. Bihan was the original Sub-Zero.
I thought it was.
Bihan is Noob Saibot. And his brother's name is, I cannot remember. By the way, that was a really cool setup, and so story modes in fighting games are usually super lackluster, nobody really gives a shit. But I have to say, the story in 9 was really good. I like the way that the original Sub-Zero and then the original Sub-Zero's brother eventually met up with each other once again after the brother went through the Cyber Initiative and became Cyber Sub-Zero, and the original Sub-Zero became Noob Saibot, and that encounter they had with one another, where they recognize who one another are and recognize the changes they have both gone through.
And fought.
And they're like, we might be...
That's what we're concerned about.
Yeah. Yeah, they fought.
I'll tell you one thing I hate about MKX, though,
Yeah.
and the story. They made Quan Chi out to be a total bitch.
Yeah, and he's not supposed to be. He's supposed to be an all-powerful sorcerer.
He sucked. Every time you saw him, he got his ass kicked by somebody who really shouldn't be able to.
Yeah.
And then finally just decapped.
Good.
I mean, yeah, at best I could see the only one he encountered I could see being a match for him was Scorpion.
What? But the thing is, he created Scorpion. Quan Chi is the reason why Scorpion exists. He's also the reason why Noob exists as well.
Alright, well, I think that's enough for one episode.
Yep,
Do
cool.
one more here before moving on to Star Ocean 5.
Star Ocean 5.
Yeah, I'm playing that
Integrity and...
while I'm at Atlantis right now. That's what I'm doing, is doing Star Ocean 5.
I mean, it's a lot easier now that you live so close. So.
Yeah. Just need to get a mic in the middle of the floor once and just start hitting record, because I think we have some good off-cuff conversations during that time.
I don't know.
Not like as an official LP or something, but just for good time's sake. Like all the, reminders of good times that we did have on my first laptop that we destroyed before anybody realized, maybe I can actually extract
the data
this before taking a bat to it. Alright, anyway, guys. We'll see you in the next episode.
Yep. We'll leave you now. After SK hits the stop button.